Hey, family. This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. Uh, a lot of y'all know I'm a community activist, right? A lot of y'all know I'm a community organizer. They just titles, family. A lot of y'all know. If you don't know, I am considered also as a community journalist. I was not going to touch this, right? I was not going to touch this. The Karmelo Anthony story with Metcalf. I was not going to touch this. I had to get a better understanding of what actually happened compared to what Karmelo said. Karmelo said straight out, and he even told this boy, if you put your hands on me, what I'm going to do? Karmelo admitted the reason why he did what he did. Number one, you do not go around bullying, putting your hands on people, because you never know what that individual might have. You never know. And that's a risk itself that Metcalf took. Not only that, Karmelo warned him, and he still put his hands on him. I wanted to get a better understanding because, one, in Texas, it's like the defense laws, self-defense laws, they moved out the way. Let me tell y'all this, and this is what I sent to AI. When you are used to dealing with certain things, understand the prosecutor will present. They are actors. They are good at what they do when it comes to presenting cases and flipping stuff around to make your right look wrong. It's how you convince the people. I've seen it. I sat in many jury trials, and I watch how they play. Even though I'm not saying that was the right thing to do, please do not get it wrong. I feel like this. The same way them two black officers came for me. Fuck the black man. Now Steve's showing up because they was white. Okay? And I can say that was somewhat what they did with this young man for defending himself. Number one, when I was driving tractor trailers, I carried a knife. We called it a box cutter to cut the plastic When I was younger, remember, I always share my story. When I was younger, I used to carry. I got to make sure I say it right for TikTok's sake. I used to carry those things. I even had a machete when I was younger than him. And if you came at me and threatened me in any kind of way, I had no problem in swinging it on you. Now, I'm not saying that was right. But the same way people carry pew-pews, the same way people can go and get illegal pew-pews. The point is for protection. Safety. The same way an individual would carry any type of weapon, either to harm you. I was trying to make sure I get the two together. Either to harm you or to protect themselves. It was not illegal for this young man to carry a pocket knife. And y'all going around saying, why you got a knife? Why you got a knife? Whatever his reasons was. I carried them when I was younger. I had the bamboo type that they would cut down bamboos with, right? Well, my heart goes out to both families. Let me make this clear. To the Karmelo family and to the Metcalf family. But I'm going to share this with a lot of y'all. You go out there, put your damn hands on people. And whatever outcome, expect the outcome. When you go around and you think you can just put your hands on people. Now, I'm a hugger. I hug people. I didn't understand that can be considered as an assault because I hug people. So I had to start watching hugging people. Now, I'm just coming on here because number one, as a community journalist, a lot of y'all don't do what Steve Copeland do on these platforms. A lot of y'all like to bring a lot of chaos and confusion to chaos and confusion. Misinformation. The moment that young guy explained to the police why he did what he did, y'all start justifying it. Assault is assault is assault. Bullying is bullying is bullying. They fell under the same category. This young man got 35 years. Yeah, we can sit here and say this, right? He should have walked away. That's basically what they're saying. Then when he, now I'm going off of the words because they repeated back what he said. He said he pulled out the little pocket knife and said, if you touch me, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not trying to be smart, family. And be honest with y'all, I don't give a freak what y'all thinking, what you say. Because I'm looking at life in general, reality, right? I'm looking at how, when I was living a certain way of life, how I carried it. And now that I'm older and I'm living another way of life, it's like you decide rather you gonna let that person kick your goddamn butt or protect yourself. It's a if the if thing. You get me? That's why I'm doing this. Like I said, if I was a juror, if I was a juror, if I was a juror, understanding that this guy put his hands on him, I would not have found him guilty. I would have looked at him as protecting himself. But now, because they didn't allow him, his lawyer, to use the self-defense law, that's why they was able to do what they did. For a lot of you that don't understand, they took it off the table. That's why you got to pay real close attention to what's happening. You got to pay real close attention. Because I'm going to tell y'all like this. Even the prosecutors, the lawyers, all of them themselves are human beings. Nowhere in the freaking world you going to just let somebody hurt you. Unless you just can't do nothing to defend yourself. No way in the freaking world. They said it was raining. He went under their tent. Metcalf told him he had to leave. He was just trying to escape from the rain. I'm only going off of the report, what it said. Now, a lot of y'all, it was more like Metcalf and his brother supposed to been bullying him, blah, blah, blah. You know, we've been hearing this, hearing that, right? So what I decided to do, once I've been seeing people talk about it a lot, right? I said, let me see what's actually going on. Because I know it was the trial. I didn't know until I started seeing it on TikTok. But I think he was already convicted then. I'm going to tell a lot of y'all this. Whenever we want to talk about certain situations that happens in the community, you need to do a little bit of investigation on your own before you start running off at your mouth. So you'll have a better idea of how to present certain things. Okay? Now, be honest with the Karmelo, Anthony, and the Metcalf story. I don't know which way to really take it because my heart goes out to both families. You get me? Metcalf is gone. Karmelo screwed up. He took a life. He shoulda, coulda, woulda walked away. All this type of stuff that we have a tendency of saying because it's not us. Once the young man explained to the police why he did what he did, to me, that was it. The self-defense. But I'm going to share this, and I don't care how y'all look at it. When these two white officers came for me, one, 14 charges, fake charges, and a fake police report. Him and I used to argue a lot. That's why he created those charges. I reported him to his supervisor. That's why he created those charges. Y'all didn't know, did you, Baltimore? Every time I would call them out to help me with a client that wasn't on their medication, me and the police would argue. They would go talk to the clients and then come back and talk to me, treat me like I'm the one that was the problem. I just needed them to help my clients. This is how some of the polices work. I started understanding they can only go according to what they was taught. They don't step outside that box. So understand law enforcement and understand the lawmakers. Understand they do not live by the rules we do. That's why they set the laws. They know how to go in, like your lawyers, your prosecutors, and manipulate the laws. I started paying attention to a lot of this. Being a community activist, being a human rights advocate, being in the community. You gotta investigate certain things for yourself to get a better understanding before you open up your mouth to speak out on it. Some people just go off the information that they gathered, which is okay too. But you gotta check and double check and check. At least to be able to get your point across. Those are one of the reasons why I had to back up. Matter of fact, 14 fake charges from one white police street officer. Me and him used to have some great conversations. I couldn't believe this guy did that to me. Even though we didn't agree on certain things, you get me? But still, I know he had a job to do. I had a job to do as a community activist, as a community journalist, as a community outreach coordinator, as a person that fights for the democracy of Black people here in Baltimore City, with the organization Communities United during that time. And then for a police detective, call herself investigating me for something I didn't do and asking me questions. I'm telling you how they play us. I seen it with my own two eyes. A detective woman I didn't even know. She didn't have no idea who Steve Copeland was, what he do in the community. She asked a question. And then this is what people tend to do, and it pisses me off. That's how you gotta do it, say yes or no. Ask a question, then you're gonna tell somebody how to answer the question. Because you want to control the narrative. And that's what she was trying to do. When she asked me a question, I gave her a 3-minute sermon. Y'all know how big I'm talk. And then she told me, that's how you had to do it, say yes or no. I said, no, I won't. You ask a question. If I felt like I needed to explain it, I'm explaining it. You cut the message right then. You cut it off. Well, that's how you had to do. I'm going to ask you this. That's how you got to do, say yes or no. Wait a minute. You want to ask a question, then you already telling me basically how to answer it. Do y'all realize that? You want to control the narrative. I trips out when people do that. I tripped out when she did it. Because that was her way of trying to catch me in something that wasn't true. The officer screwed up and she screwed up. She got mad at me because I said, no, I won't. If you ask me a question, I'm going to explain it. Know why the smile came on my face? Because this what happens with people in authority. When they can actually hang you. And that's what she did. The police officer did 14 charges. When it was time for me to go to court for my 30-day thing, she threw 3 of them on it and had me indicted for something I didn't even do, off of false charges. They knew. They dragged me. And I'm looking at this young man case. That's why I'm sharing this too, right? Because I'm looking at Karmelo. And be honest with you, Karmelo could have walked away. He could have, should have, would have. He could have done all of that. I got that. Okay. I got that. But what happened, happened. I'm just telling y'all, if I was a juror, I wouldn't have convicted him. Because once he put his hands on it and he warned him, but they didn't use that to like benefit him. I'm telling you, I pay close attention to stuff. Pay close attention. So as I was saying about my stuff, and I'm looking at the system itself. I'm looking at your lawyer. I'm looking at the prosecutor. I'm looking at how they present the case. And then you have to look at the laws for that particular city. Once they moved the self-defense law, because they felt like he didn't have self-defense rights. So once they moved it, that left him open. So for a lot of people that's angry and upset, and there was a lady that put something out on TikTok and they blowing it up. She talking about Jamal Bryant, these other, speakers and all of that, felt as though they didn't support him. They wasn't there for him and stuff like that. But now understand, we talking about the system, sis. And that showed me for the stuff you said out your mouth. You don't understand the system. When it comes to the black man, I can tell you firsthand. Okay. Because I watched what happened to me. And the sad part about it, yes, the young man could have walked away. I'm talking about Karmelo. But I'm not going to do that. Because whatever he was presented with at that time, that's what he acted out on. It happens. Now, let me share this with y'all. I did 11 months over to prison for something I didn't do. I spent 13 months on a home monitor for something I didn't do. Do y'all know how that really feel inside? The only type of people will understand that statement I just made is somebody who actually innocent of all whatever they trying to charge you with or do with you. They the only people that will truly understand what I'm saying out my mouth. A lot of y'all that don't understand because you never went through it, you never lived it, you'll sit back and give your opinion, what you thinking, how you feeling, blah, blah, blah. How do you think that mess felt being a community activist, being a human rights advocate? The same way the police's job is to protect and serve, right? But that's what we do. We come in, we back you up. We help reduce the crime rate. The smugs, the unalive rate, we help work with them. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know? This is what grassroots organizations, this is what community people do like me, who used to live a certain way of life. Now I'm back in the communities helping. I don't get paid. I don't get paid. The police get paid. This is from my heart for me to go back into our community and help reduce a lot of this stuff that's going on. I'm not a paid organizer. My business don't get government funding. But I understand when it comes to our lawmakers and our law enforcers, I understand. I understand that y'all understand the constitutional rights even more. The amendments, when people breaking the laws or when laws are set, you either going to live accordingly, or if you break them, you're going to go to that big old slave plantation. 35 years for this young man. I done spoke out on a lot of stuff. Okay? As a community journalist, as a community organizer. I done spoke out on a lot. Town hall meetings. Used to have back in the days when I was able to move about. More. Each month. Used to give meetings. Harm reduction in the community of color. Safety in the war zone. Because I used to live a certain way of life. So now, once your life is turned around, you can go back and help slow a lot of it down. I'm in Baltimore City. That's why y'all always hear me talk about Baltimore City. I cannot talk about Chicago. I'm not there. I cannot talk about Detroit. I'm not there. You are. And whenever y'all see me live, you in Chicago, you in Philly, you in DC, you can announce your nonprofit, your business. What are you doing in that particular area to help build back up and create safer communities? Let people know so they know who to reach out to in what particular area. Do y'all realize TikTok? When I'm on here and I'm on people's platform and I hear y'all act like y'all doing great work in your city, if you do not mention your city, if you do not mention certain organizations that you're working with, because it's not just an I thing, you get me? Like me by myself. That's how y'all should be able to understand the difference in what I'm saying. For a person that works with other organizations and businesses to slow down a lot of the criminal activities and stuff. The name of mine is Strengthen the Community in Baltimore City. The name of the housing program is the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope. Listen to the words coming out my mouth, because y'all will sit up here. Y'all love listening to people talking a real good Gucci game, and you fall for it. But then when somebody like me open up my mouth, oh, he fake, he phony. Oh, he making it all about him. Yes, I am. Because do y'all realize the courage and the confidence that it takes to fight against a system that don't want to see us succeed? You got a brother here, 7 days a week, 6 to 8 in the evening. Come in, share his life with y'all, share a recovery process, helping people to grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to get them out of that slave man mentality. But y'all will turn around and criticize me for trying to encourage and motivate you to stand up for the things that you want out of life and work for. Metcalf family, my heart goes out to y'all, because y'all lost a child. Y'all lost a son. Karmelo, I don't know what's going to happen from here. I don't know if the lawyers or the lawyer, if they can find a way to do a retrial, at least to cut back on the years. But Karmelo Anthony, you took a person's life. You did the crime. Even though you was protecting yourself, you did the crime. And yes, you had every right. You warned him. And he put his hands on you anyway. So what they did, they flipped the script. You warned him. You reached in. You pulled it out. I'm talking about the pocket knife. You admitted to everything. You said why you did what you did, what you did. The prosecutors know how to play the game. They used your stuff against you to make what you did was wrong. That's why I came on here. Because when you know how the freaking system play your ass, you can sneeze and they will call it an insult if it gets on somebody else. Because you should have sneezed. It's how they play the game. And that's what I'm looking at. So for a lot of y'all, look at how the system play you. You very intelligent bunch of mother freaky suckers. This is how I used to come. It was two wrongs. Two wrongs. And I'm going to tell you, if I was part of that jury, I would have talked to him like this. Because I have done it. But they had to come at him for the information that they was given to oversee. Thank God I was not there. I'm telling y'all right now, jurors, thank God I was not there, because I don't give a freak what they would have presented us with. I would have went off what that young man said. You know why? He was there. You wasn't. And he said why he did what he did. He spoke his truth. Keep putting your damn hands on people. And I don't care if y'all sitting there, he's supposed to be a deacon and he cussing, kiss my grits for right now. It's about keeping it real. 2 lives was lost, basically. Give a freak how y'all look at me and what you think about me. I'm sitting up here looking at the Metcalf family, and I'm looking at this young man family, Karmelo family, and look, I know they all devastated either way. I don't even know if Karmelo and Metcalf really knew each other, right? Because now I'm only going off, I had to really go into A&I to learn about the case, to hear what happened in the case, to get whatever information is being reported. If not, I was going to go to fact checkers. Okay? Because when you're not there, you want to get the most credible information that you can. That's what people like Don Lemon and them does. When you're not actually there. That's why they have an investigative team. Earn, Paneras, in DC, they have investigators teams, investigation teams. So you have to gather as much information as you can. That's what journalists does. That's what that's what news reporters does. They gather information. Was presented. Because if you wasn't there to see it firsthand with your own 2 eyes, this is what I do in Baltimore City. I will leave up out of here, just like the incident that happened on North Avenue. A lot of y'all don't even know. In 2027, we fought to get the spy plane up over Baltimore City to help reduce the pew-pew rate. We spoke out, or I spoke out, because I'm with Communities United, right? I'm a board member. Safe consumption sites. And they have them in other areas where a still suffering individual with an addictive personality can go and use. And if they pass out, it's a team there, it's a medical team to bring them back. We fought to get that a safe some safe consumption sites here in Baltimore City. The bill went to Congress and Congress rejected. And let me tell y'all this. Remember I told y'all before, I sat down with scientists, doctors, professors, and all of that. To tell them about the Black community. Guess what it said it was? Who they was. They was from Bethesda. I knew that. They was from somewhere back up. They was, the bougie crowd. They was from Bethesda. They was from Gaithersburg, Maryland, back up in that area. I knew who they was. They was coming into the black community to find out what's going on in the black community. And I was the one, not just me, but it was a group of us. But as a community activist, as a community outreach coordinator, as a person that's in the community, I was explaining to them what we can do to slow a lot of this down. As a recovering addict, now, I'm going to tell y'all who they was. Because I found out. Now, I don't know if it was just Baltimore City. They sued the pharmaceutical places. They got $600 million to treat the Finney, the F, T, for TikTok's sake. That's what I'm going to talk about this evening. Not just that. See, I got to watch my words. I'm trying to find spicy. The blue. The blue. Spicy. As a recovering addict with 33 years clean, with the freak I look like sitting back and not trying to help resolve some of these issues in our communities. When I come on my talk show, I want to be able to feed y'all some healthy, proper information. That's all. Towards us trying to resolve, community issues and stuff like that. You know how, and I'm staying, for some of y'all that just coming in, I'm touching a little bit on Karmelo, Anthony, and Metcalf, right? And I had to conversate Cupcake with AI. I swear they make me think I'm just talking to another human being just right there, But anyway, I love it. And ChatGPT. I'm telling y'all, I love it because they not biased. I mean, it's like they can't, But anyway, it just helps where your mindset is at. It just helps you. It's like it gives you a broader understanding of where you at when it comes to certain life issues. I'm gonna tell y'all, and I want y'all to really pay attention to this. It's only two ways in life. Either you live in the righteous way, or you live in a corrupt lifestyle. And might tell yourself you're living righteous. No. You choose. Choose between the two. Now, I'm going to use certain words, right? Because I want to throw this in for this evening, right? And OG, if you're looking at me, I said, I'm going to call you and talk to you, right? I'm old school. I'm going to do it like this. Y'all know what happened in the 80s, right? So I'm old school. A lot of the new stuff that's out today, because I've been clean for 33 years, the way they doing things is new to me. But I know Smugs and Smugs and Smugs and Smugs and Smugs, you get me? But it's now how they getting it across. My thing is, when I talk about empowering the next generation, when I talk about empowering the next generation, I'm looking at the parents. And if your life is not in order, or if you're not healthy parents, you won't be able to properly educate your own children. If you're not properly educated. So I hold y'all accountable for a lot of it. So let me do this. I come from that type of mob, right? Now I'm finding out how they taking this, the F-bomb. Can I say that word, TikTok? The F-bomb. Smugs. I can say that word, TikTok, because smugs are no longer just sold on street corners. Producers use Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. Ooh, I ain't mean y'all TikTok like that. I apologize. Use special stuff. I wanted to say Mondays, right? The advertise plugs. Y'all sorry son of a sea biscuits. I'm talking about the ones that's putting it out. I was there at one point, so I understand. I'm talking about, I'm retired. Y'all sorry son of a sea biscuits. When I was in it, I didn't realize I was poisoning the community. I'm talking about myself and a lot of you other sorry ass grown-ups. I was once there. I don't give a freak what y'all think about me right now. Advertise plugs. Dealer. Creators of this bull crap for TikTok's sake. Parents should monitor. I always say to parents, you are the voice. You gotta pay attention to what's going on in your children's lives. Pay attention. We want to empower. We want the future. And I'm talking about our children. We want to empower them. You want to properly educate them. You want them to be a success story. I'm talking about our next generation. Parents. I'm talking about us monitoring our children. That's the next generation I'm talking about. To be honest with y'all, minds are grown. Minds are doing very well. I'm watching my family with children, raising their children, doing great. It ain't perfect, but they doing great. A lot better than the way we grew up. Parents should monitor, secure around secrecy. I'm sorry, around phone screens and stuff like that. Basically, what it's saying is monitoring their stuff. Unexpected packages in the mails. Family. Keep in mind, I'm old school. We used to travel out of town back in the days too. But see now what they saying, our youth can order a lot of this stuff, internet wise. It's more accessible. You get me? Because today's smugs are often hidden in plain sight. I did not mean to do this. This was something that I called myself talking about later on. What's up, Lil Steve? Let me see how long I've been on here. But I think because a lot of this I want to talk about this evening. Right. And that's I'm just looking at us as parents. I'm just looking at us as protecting our children. I had to come on a little bit because my heart goes out to this young man, Karmelo Anthony. My heart goes out to the Metcalf family. Because I know they felt like justice was done. No matter what happened, it's not going to bring their son back. I understand the part of, too, don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. And I understand a lot of people don't think that way. And I'm going to share this again. If you don't understand the street side of doing things, because you go by the street code when you're in the streets. But when your life turn around, you start living according to the laws of the land. He's 19 now. Unless they do a retrial, they might cut back on the 35 years. They might. Now I'm going to share this on a personal note. Thank God I wasn't around. I would have spoke up for him very highly. Thank God I was not around. I'm talking about being in Texas. I know I got a big mouth. I know I can get very, very, very loud. And I'm going to share this with y'all. Again, he told the police what he did. He admitted to what he did. He admitted to what he did. Y'all suckers twisted and turned his stuff around. He said the reason why he did what he did. even though we might feel like it wasn't right. You get it? Because you looking at yourself. But I could, yeah, you right. And I get that. So understand what I'm saying. He admitted to what he did, and he said why he did what he did. Did y'all pay attention? And that's what I would have went off on. Because he admitted, he knew he was wrong. He shared his truth. Y'all the ones started playing with it and justifying it and want to fix it your way. He already admitted it. And be honest with y'all, as a juror, no matter what they would have presented, if I was there, I wouldn't give a freak what type of paperwork they would have gave us. Well, you got to go by this, you would have went by that. No, I would have flipped that shit. Now I'm being honest with y'all. Thank God. I've been there before. I was the head juror. And sometimes the stuff, the laws wise, that they give you to actually either convict that person or set them free. Right now, I'm stuttering, right? Right now, because my mind is still stuck at this young man's truth. Right now, what I'm looking at is bullying. What's up, David? Right now, keep putting your freaking hands on people because you might be bigger than them, because you might be stronger than them, because you might be being abused at home, so you want to take it out on other people. Oh, we understand what bullying is. Parents bully other parents. Your children gonna bully other children. My brothers and them always taught me, you never let your left hand know what your right hand doing. So if a person sit up here and tell me, man, I'll do this to you, I'll do that to you, like take you out, and I'm supposed to let you go get whatever you want to come back and take me out, I'm gonna wait there for you. Oh, brothers, y'all have a tendency of saying that. You ain't supposed to get too far when you say that, because you never let your left hand know what your right hand doing. That's why I be so amazed when some of y'all gangsters want to get up here and talk trash. You say what? When I hear guys say that, I be like, what did you just say to me? Oh, what? Well, meet me at Pennsylvania North. Where you at? Chicago? Okay, come on down. What? Do y'all know how dumb that sound to me? Because now I really understand, being grown, David. If we wanted to do something to you, I know time has completely changed. If we wanted to do something to you, we waited a week, 2 months, it could be 2 years. And then we retaliated because we wanted you to forget so it wouldn't tie in. I thank God, Dr. David. I spent 19 years AI. living a corrupt lifestyle. And I worked and did all this type of stuff, but still, you know, you did what you did to try to make me for TikTok's sake. When I say I screamed out over 33 years ago, God, please help me, my life was completely spiraling out of control. And I was taught better. I was raised better. Either I was going to end up unaliving somebody, because I'm telling you, I seen it coming, and spending the rest of my life behind bars, or somebody who's going to take me down. I seen it. It was just spiraling. And I yelled out, God, please help me. See, a lot of y'all can't share that type of story. You can share in theory, but you can't share it from a personal level. I was delivered. I was redeemed. I was renewed. Or in other words, just for the day, he took that desire of that corrupt lifestyle from me. One of them words going to fit somebody's life. I already know it. That's why he had me open up my big mouth. I am a messenger. I am a teacher. I try to help people that's stuck in certain areas of their lives. You can become a productive member of society. Y'all just don't want to hear it because the post-traumatic slavery syndrome. Post-traumatic slavery syndrome got us believing that we'll never amount to nothing, we'll never be nothing. And then you'll let people sit back and talk to you and make you feel like you're worthless and hopeless and helpless, and you'll start believing it. Not Stephen Copeland. One time I used to. But now, because of my courage, my confidence, my ego, my pride, I'm now, look how I'm saying it, but look how I'm going up. Look how I'm going up. That's self-esteem builders. But y'all will want to turn that and look at, it's his pride, it's his ego, it's his glasses he got on. It's look at the little skull cap on his head. He must want to be a Muslim. But he telling people he's a Christian. I just put this on because I think I look good. I want to look nice. It ain't got nothing to do with religion. I like looking nice. Look, I got a lot. I got a lot. It's not about y'all. I got a lot. And I ain't even talking about what's in the closet. But they hats in the closet. I just like, when I come on my live, I just like, certain style for me. It ain't about y'all, it's for me. Yeah, my pride, my ego, my self-esteem. I'm handsome. I'm a nice looking man. Y'all get mad when a king like me can say that. Y'all get mad because you still down here, right? I'm trying to help you get up here. Is it right there somewhere where it says inspiring, encouraging, empowering, motivating? Then y'all will turn around and go on platforms and people laying each other out, cutting each other down, rather than y'all building and encouraging and inspiring. And then the sad part about it, you got these hosts that produces these platforms. It lets me know where your heart is at. It lets me know where your thinking is at. even though to you, you healthy. Because if you full of chaos and confusion, you only going to create chaos and confusing topics that you know is going to get people rowdy. But you're so smart. You're so intelligent. I'm going to get ready to end this, but I had to come on. I didn't have to. But I was trying to, David, if you still live, I was seeing people on TikTok talking about Carmelo Anthony, right? The case and everything. But I wasn't trying to zero in. I wasn't. But then I'm like, let me see what happened. So I was gonna go to fact checks and stuff to find out what happened. A part of me didn't want to know. Okay, to be honest with y'all. But as a this is reporting, right? This is like news reporting, family. Y'all, I don't think y'all get it. I already know what I do. That's why I'm considered as like a community journalist, a news reporter. That's why I say being a community organizer, being a community activist, the stuff that I do with my LLC, the stuff that I do with my housing program, I don't get government funding. So I'm not held bound by their laws. Do y'all realize that? Now, I'm going to need government funding, but I'd rather be honest with you. My goal is to reach out when I said I'd rather, right? Philanthropists or private investors. Private investors. I just wanted to make sure I didn't say investigators. Private investors. People who believe in or fund your project. You get me? Those are the ones that people like myself have to reach out to. So when y'all hear me say I'm a community outreach coordinator, that's because I go to businesses and I get them to donate products back to the program or the organization where we can give back out to the community. That's what I do. As a person that used to drive tractor trailers, I know a lot of warehouses that have stuff abundantly, and I'll get them to donate as much as they can to help me give back. That's when y'all hear me talk about being a community outreach coordinator. It's just little titles. But as a businessman, as a person that's deeply involved in community activities, dealing with our politicians and stuff like that, which a lot of y'all talk a good game, but you're not in the game. I can talk about Baltimore City. Why y'all don't come on here and talk about your city and what you're doing to help? Well, not just you, because I know it's not you. I already know it's not you by yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you really, for the community, let people know what city you in. What's up, BMore? Banner. Let people know what city you in. Let people know the organizations that's in your city that's doing great work. Let people know how you can call the mayor of Baltimore City your nephew. How you can call Antonio Hayes, which I grew up on the west side with his mama and daddy in them. Nephew. Where I can call James Torrance. Nephew. Where I can walk up to Congressman Kwaisi and say, I've been knowing you. When I was younger, I remember you. and you still look the same as far as age-wise. I grew up with him, watching him in politics with Perry J. Mitchell and all of them, where I can walk up to Kwaisi. I used to use Beijing 47. It's a dark brown dye. I said, I know you older than me. What dye do you use? I was trying to think what it's called, right? I went up, look, we was at an event, and I seen Kwaisi. This time I was able to talk with him, right? Because sometimes I do my own thing. I said, come here. Now, I remember watching him, I'm about 10 coming up, right? Perry J. Mitchell and all of them. And I'm like, now I'm 60-something now. I know you got to be every bit of 70-something. What type of dye do you use? Because I was using Beijing 47, right? Let me make sure I'm saying it right. Which is dark brown, looks black, right? And I had to tell him that, stop playing, Banner. Yeah, I grew up with all of them. I mean, they was older, right? But I remember them. That's why, hey, Baltimore. That's why I had to pick with Kwaisi. Because I'm like, man, I know you about 1,000 years old. You look young as shit. And he ain't do nothing but bust out laughing. So I'm just saying, his family. And Banner, I love you, bro. I appreciate what you're doing with your show and everything. I'm gonna tell you, y'all. Well, Ben, I know you know, right? I'm kind of trying to watch throwing out certain names that I'm a little bit older than you. That like Peanut King. I don't know why Anthony name. I get sick and tired of this. Every time I go to say my man name, it will not come. And he spent like 27 years behind bars because of the lifestyle we used to live. I couldn't wait when he came home to meet him. Only thing, because of the chaos, BMore, that I used to bring to the community, or let me say my family, we used to bring to the community, is the only reason why God turned my life around and said, now you want to go back and help clean up some of the mess. Now, mind you, that was years ago with me, back in the 80s. The 80s, because I got clean in 93. Thanks, Banner. Now, because I know he knows he's from Baltimore too. Be honest, as a community organizer, I had to get to know the politicians in the communities with district. I share this with a lot of y'all. I know a lot of our NAACP members. I had to get involved. Whichever community you in, you have a neighborhood association. Find out who's that president of that neighborhood association. Now, guess what? I'm on the ground level bringing you up. If you call yourself a person that's really involved. and community growth. Get to know who your people are in the House of Delegates. Get to know who they are. Get to know the people, your people in the House of Chambers, Black Chambers, Commerce. I'm sorry. That one too. Get to know who your council members are. Do you know most of your politicians like that are the ones that write the check for the funding for your nonprofit? They are the ones that distribute the money. Okay? How can I say this? Because I'm on the ground. How can I say this? Because I'm very involved. I ain't just talking out my head. I go to one of the biggest churches in Baltimore City, Bishop Jerome Stokes. My bishop deals with people like Walter, Scott, Thomas, Empowerment Temple, and many, many more. I'm talking about a guy that came from the streets, BMore. To getting involved with your politicians, with your lawmakers, with your businesses, rather than white, black, Hispanic, purple, blue, green. When you have a business, business people come in all nationalities. I just say colors, right? And see, y'all so stuck on this slave man mentality. The white man, the black man, the white man. We the only two races that exists, sis. I'll be like, what in the world? Yeah, the white man. That's called post-traumatic slavery syndrome. You're stuck. You're stuck, and you don't even realize it. We're not the only people that go through certain things, culture-wise. I found that out as a community activist. I found that out as a human rights advocate. Damn. I thought black people was the only people brought into slavery. I did. Until we went to Detroit that helped fight for the immigrants. I keep saying immigrants, but I think it was the Hispanics or Mexicans, one of them. I said, damn. I thought black people were the only people that tough up. And Dr. David, I apologize for my language, but it's still the word. It's how I use the word of God. Don't mess with me. Because the word is the word is the word. If God is his word, even if you use it in a foul way, you still using the word, you speaking the word of God. It's how you use it. That's what actually when I was doing my research, talking with the creator, the word is the word. If God is his word, he called everything into existence. He spoke everything into existence. And if we are the living, breathing word. So if we curse, if we talk righteous, however, you're still speaking the word. Do y'all realize that? It might not feel right to some of us, right? When we curse and stuff, like, ooh, forgive me, God. Forgive me, because that didn't feel right to the spirit. But the word is the word. It's how we use it. Right? In the context or the content of how we use it. Y'all talk about studying to show thyself approved unto God. Thank you, Lord. Y'all talking about studying, right? Now, I want to grab my Bible, but TikTok don't like certain things, you know, and might want to shut it down if I bring it up. But look, I say this over and over and over. When I read and I'm studying scripture, this is between me and God. I can't, and I'm going to tell y'all early on, Dr. Daniels, when I used to read and study scripture, I was pointing at everybody else with it. I was doing it. I was pointing at everybody else's life. Well, this the way you supposed to be. This the way you supposed to be. Y'all heard what I just said? This the way you supposed to be. This the way you supposed to be. I'm pointing at everybody else's life with scripture but my own. And then it got to the point where I had to apply it to my own. So now, I don't care what spiritual material I use. This is God's way of talking to me. And I can only feed you back in reference to how he worked with me and hoping that it might can help you. But other than that, when I go into this Bible, rather it's by these books I got and the different Bibles that I have, most of them are, guess what? It's not King James. I don't have King James. They're English version Bibles, the NIVs and stuff. Because I want to keep it plain and simple, not complicate life. When it comes to studying history, I was born in 1962, not 1960 or 61 or 40. From the time I was born on up to now, whatever I have experienced and remember are facts. It is not fiction. So whatever I study and I'm not clear on, it might not really be true because I didn't actually see it for myself. You get what I'm saying? So what a lot of us have a tendency of doing off of history, it might make sense when we kind of compare it to ours. Like, oh my God, I remember this. I got you now. That's why I don't play when it comes to us and the things that we do. As a human being, I can only share my experience, my strengths, my hopes, the mistakes that I made in life, how God opened up my eyes and empowered me, encouraged me, motivated me to walk in the right way. I wanted to say righteous way. It's still the right way compared to my wrongs. Okay. Lord Steve, my son, he's registered to carry. Let me say this again. My son is registered to carry. Got a beautiful pew pew. And he got the long one too. He goes to the gun range. His mother and them goes to the gun range. His sister and them goes to the gun range. I'm proud of them. The reason why I say I'm proud of them, because I shared with little Steve how at 15 his father had a pew pew, illegal. His father had a sawed off. Come on, with the big bullets and stuff, pew pews, pew pews. My son goes to the gun range. My son plays soccer. My son grew up around a lot of YT people. Most of the parents, God dang it, my son was the only melanated or black kid on his soccer team for years until others started joining. Once they start branching out more and kids started, I watch my son now play soccer with all different cultures, races wise. You get me? Blows me away. The reason why I'm saying this because I grew up in the hood. So basically I grew up with mostly black people. If it was a white person came in our area, that's when I was younger, y'all. I'd be like, her? What? What? But they did. It was white people that lived in the areas too. It was white people that lived in certain areas that we lived in, like around White Lock, Linden Avenue, Utah, all of that. Before we came in and started taking over those areas. Now they're starting to come back in. But the reason why I'm saying that, because I basically grew up with the blacks. My son and daughters in them grew up with the whites. Private schools, stuff like that, right? Just that more conservative lifestyle. That's all. We was able to provide a better life. But I goes back into the inner city community to help them gain a better life or a life worth living. That was the whole point. Go back and help build back up. And to fight against reducing the unalive rate. I was telling AI how I was one of the people that helped Ford to get the spy plane here, which they named it after that, the surveillance plane. They got all that information there. Told them about the webpage. The Facebook page I started. A new BMore city. Rebuilding our communities. That's the page I created for the 343 homicides that took place that year. See, I can tell y'all about Steve. Don't get jealous. Because you can talk for stuff that you ain't even done. It's right there. BMore city. BMore. Men of integrity. I created a Facebook page for men. Stephen Copeland Jr., Sports and Talents. Stevie Copeland, 59. Lavelle Copeland, 59. I have 14 social media pages. YouTube, LinkedIn, BMore. The list goes on. I ain't no joke. And if y'all want to flip it around, right? I'm talking about a guy that used to live the opposite. Now he's on the right path. And this haven't been an easy journey. Don't get it wrong. Every time I say if I come on my live, I'm not gonna be on there no more than about an hour or half an hour. I've been on here for an hour and a half. And I am gonna lay back down because I'm trying to see did I have anything scheduled for the day or did I have to do anything. Not that I know of. I had to come on. I think that was part of my way, Dr. David, because of what I was feeling about Carmelo Anthony. And it's nothing you can do. Whatever decision they made, and I'm talking about the jurors, whatever decision they made, they went off the information that was presented to them too. I would not. Okay. If I was part of the jury, I would not have found him guilty. Only because I'm looking at bullying and I'm looking at self-defense. Even though they were saying no matter what, even though he had the knife on him, that didn't give him the right to actually do what he did. Just like that didn't give Metcalf the right to put his hands on him. So see that would have been justified both ways, you get me? Well, if he wouldn't have done this, then he wouldn't have did that. That's would have been my fight. Real plain and simple. I don't care what your law degree is. Understand, you might understand laws. But once they took that self-defense off the table, that was it. That was it. Couldn't justify the behavior. Couldn't rationalize it. And I'm telling you this as a person that has sat on many juries, had jury duties, right? And went. You got to listen very, 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 very closely to the information that's being presented. And no matter what, and I am going to end it after this, for some of you jerks, why did Karmelo say he did what he did to the police? He admitted to it, right? He admitted to it. He even told Metcalf, if you touch me, what I'm going to do to you. Did he not? Now fix it and put your own crap in there. Did he not say that? Did he? And then we're going to sit back and turn his own words around. And now I'm going to fix it. Either way, he was dead wrong. I mean, unalive wrong for doing what he did. He could have walked away. He could have this. He could have that. He could have. But the point, he warned them. Am I lying? That's what I would have went off when he told the police. Yeah, he admitted to it. I said, at least he was honest. It's y'all that tends to, well, he coulda, he shoulda. All of that is so true. It is. That's just like me coming to you and you telling me, right, I'm bullying you. And you telling me if I don't get out your face, you're going to use your pew-pew on me. but then I'm going to go ahead and put my hands on you anyway? And you just told me? So if I put my hands on you and you pew, pew, pew me, you wasn't supposed to? Come on, let's be real. I'm warning you. Now I'm going to protect me. Let me get off here. Because y'all will never understand. Keeping life real. To thy own self be true. This young man told the truth. Sad. I'm telling you, it's sad. A young man lost his life. The good part, this one didn't lose his life, but he's still here to deal with the shame and the guilt and the embarrassment and I could have did this, I should have done that type of stuff. So he got to find peace within himself. Even though they gave him 35 years, 9 times out of 10, they're going to fight. Somebody going to step in, fight to help reduce it. Don't be surprised if a team don't come up and fight to get it overturned. Don't be surprised. That's just if there's a team out there that's willing to take it up. Why you say that? That's what community activists does. That's what human rights advocates does. That's what community organizers does. They talk about stuff like this. That's what a community journalist or news reporter does. What do y'all think the talk show is? It's like I report news. When you wrong, you wrong. I'm gonna say that. It was wrong. It was wrong. But this young man admitted to why he did what he did. Parents, help your children to understand. See that? BMore Team Talk. Empowering the next generation. Help your children to understand. Don't put your hands on other people. I'm watching a lot of us fighting against each other. I'm talking about physically fighting. Never know the outcome. You might got somebody there with a pew-pew. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And then decide to pew-pew up the area. And innocent people go down for somebody else's bull crap. Just the type of stuff we talk about. I love y'all. I had to do my StreamYard live because I know it's going to break down some clips for me. And I wanted to come on TikTok to share as well because it's going to send some of the clips back over. One thing, like I said, about the work I do, as a community organizer, if you're not going back out into the community to come up with programs where we can have panels coming in talking about harm reduction in the community of color, shut up. If you ain't talking about in the community wise, helping people to understand safety in the war zone, you might not be living in that war zone, so you know I'm not talking to you. Shut up. I don't give a freak how you look at me and what you think about me. It's calling keeping it real. If you do not sit down at the table with our politicians and our lawmakers to come up with ways and means and decisions to help our people, shut up. Steve Copeland do. Communities United of Baltimore, Maryland. That's the Baltimore branch of the Center for Popular Democracy. So I ain't by myself. The ACLU, American Civil Liberty Union. They are a union for the prisoners as well. Did y'all know that? They fight for people's civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights, not just black people. Even people that's illegal trying to become legal citizens have that right. A lot of y'all think this is Trump that's up there making these decisions. It's not him. It's Congress. But they all come together. No one individual have that much power in that sense to run the United States of America. Guess what? Now I understand a little bit more why the Republican Party, some of them, respect Trump the way they do. You know why? Because it's not him. He's taking the blame for every freaking thing that Congress normally throw out there. The only thing he does is sign or veto laws. That's all. Other than making, like he's going to foreign countries and stuff like that and talking with them about American affairs and us dealing with them. But it's the Senate that he brings that information back to approve it or not approve it. And guess what AI told me? To share this from my platform to educate the community. He's more like the fall guy that everything is coming back on. I'm like, God damn. But when you don't really know, you don't really know. One thing I do, and I begin to understand, our politicians do not create solutions. The solution comes from the people on the ground level, like your nonprofits, your businesses. They have, I'm going to say, a system of people that actually work with them to work on the solutions. They are lawmakers. That's why you got a lot of them when in session. They might have businesses, right? Or nonprofits. But when in session, they cannot focus on the business. They have to focus on the laws, the policies, stuff like that, right? But once they're not in session, then they can focus back on their business. But you can't mix the two. How I know? Because I was asked to run. So I ain't sharing with y'all something that I don't know. The same with Trump. We know he's a businessman. Once he became president, he had to let somebody else run everything, basically. He's there, but he can't mix politics and business. He told everybody, he said, I am not a politician. I'm a businessman. that happened to run. And be honest with me, he's showing how easy it is to kind of run the world, politics-wise. Well, business-wise. That's all he's doing. I said, oh my God. He just showing everybody how simple it is. But guess what? When you do your research, when you do your study, see, I look for information, for ways and means to like resolve things, slow things down. Some stuff we know will never stop, but we can get a grip on it. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Some things will never stop. It's just gaining control over it. It's going to happen either way. Smug's going to keep coming in the city. Smug dealers going to make money. They're going to do whatever they can. It's like fattening up their pockets. Come on. If you was part of the game, you understand the hustle. Bro, you need to understand I'm a community organizer. You need to understand the difference between politics. They're just lawmakers, bro. Man, if you want to come up, why eat your ass up? Come on up. If you want to come up, come up. I deal with our politicians. I was a Democrat for 40 years. I'm a Republican. Do you know the difference between what the Republican Party stands for and what the Democratic Party stands for? You're welcome to come up. If you want to brush up on your politics, come up. I challenge you. You talking about a person that used to live in the streets, bro. Used to hustle. To a person that's living a righteous way of life. So I deal with the system. Come up. Come up and let me know what you know. Come on, Jim. Jim Knight. Come up, Jim. Come up. I'm the same person that the Republican Party reached out to in Baltimore City to help them win their seat. Come up. Let's talk about politics. Tell me what you're doing. It was 9 black Republicans running in Baltimore City for the first time in history. I knew, Jim, they wasn't going to win because in most of your inner cities are Democratic ran. You get me? But this is what I told them, Jim. I said, I'll come over and help y'all fight to give them a run for their damn money. Because, see, I know Steve Copeland. When the Democrats see me over there, Jim, I said, they going to say, oh, shit, Steve over with the Republicans. Hey, Jim, I'm just saying it, Jim. I'm just saying it because I learned it's all a damn game. It's how you play the game. Now, this what I love about the Republican Party, Jim. They want to see people to become more independent, where you don't have to rely on state and government funding. Not just that. And I know you know if you're a Republican. They want us to produce our own stuff. So we won't have to rely more on like other countries and overseas products. They talking about doing it here. That's why I became a Republican, Jim. But guess what? I'm in the community. I come up with solutions. When they talk that good game, Jim, since you want to talk. I told the Republican parties, I said, come on. Because I'm already doing the footwork, the solutions to whatever laws they create. I told the Republicans, the people that I know, come on. The goal was for them to come in so we can do exactly what they said. Where they at, Jim? Full of fucking shit. And forgive my language, family. I got pissed. And they know it. Every time I hear y'all run off at your mouth, talking a good goddamn going game. And I'm talking about the Republican people that I know in Baltimore City. None of y'all work on a solution to help these people, to help our people. But you talk a good game, we party all the time, and I had to back away from that. Going to events and stuff. Hi, how are you? How's that? Kiss my grits. I think my ego in the way right now. What you think? What you think? I think my ego and pride in the way right now. Because I realize they're a bunch of phony, fake people. Politics. Read up on it. Selling people a bunch of dreams. I'm telling you. Once I started realizing that, I was like, oh. But look, hey, Jim, you can come up, because one thing I realized, the politicians got a job to do just like we do. They talk a good game. We produce the rules. I mean, we are the ones that fixes it. I was trying to say, Jim. Hey, Jim, guess what? Organized religion and politics is the same things. Did you know that? They tend to enslave and oppress the people. Did you know? Come on up and talk politics to me, bro, so I can eat you up. Tell me I don't know no politics. Come up. In order to be a community organizer, you better know about the laws. In order to be a human rights advocate, you better know about the laws. And when I talk about the laws, I'm talking about people equal rights, civil rights, and constitutional rights. I'm talking about people liberties. I'm talking about people as human beings. Black people ain't the only people that they enslave or try to enslave and oppress. Did you know that, Jim? Come up, because I can be very, 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 very sarcastic. Come up. I love watching our politicians, this lawmakers. I love watching them in the community with the people. Those are the ones I can tell that's really for the people. When they are in the community, when you see them in like gyms and, recreation centers and stuff like that, when you see them in areas where our youth need their love and support the most, those are the ones that I know that's actually for the people, not just based around the laws. Where you go, Jim? Jim? Dang. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. I didn't mean to be on that long. I guess I meant to get this. I had to get this off. So now I'll be back this evening, God's will, in a couple of hours at 6 o'clock to do my regular stuff. Jim, I just want you to know, if you still there, you're always welcome please, whenever I come up, I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your political beliefs. They're all conversations, you get me? I stand firm on what I see. I stand firm on what I know. I can only speak what I have experienced. All right? Throughout the years, my 64 years of being here. Even if law come into it, I can only speak from my personal experience. What I will do, family, and I'm not going to keep explaining myself to y'all, as a community, so I understand a little bit more of where I'm at with the things that I do. As a community journalist, as a person that's familiar with a lot of the news, y'all can even call people like myself a news reporter. This is how I broadcast information. I'm no different than the BMore News. Donnie, don't hurt me, Donnie. Glover. I'm no different than the Oprah Winfrey. Or I ain't making the money. I'm trying to get there. Or Donahue and all of them. You know, I'm no different. It all starts out like this. People take the time out like myself and come on to the live streams to broadcast information. And you can go and research it yourself. Just like with the Karmelo case. I can only go off of what the young man said out his mouth. I knew they was going to play with him. I knew what they was going to do. And I ain't even trying to throw the race card in there. Because a lot of us know if it was the other way around, he would have walked. I didn't even want to touch that. Come on. To make it clear again, once I sent AI the information to find out what actually came about from what was fed back to the news people and stuff like that, right? The court proceeding and all of this. They took, listen to what I'm saying, they took the self-defense argument off the table. That's what did it. They didn't find a reason for him, even though that boy put his hands on it. They took it off the table. Pay attention. That's why I came on. And it's not to be mad at nobody. Metcalf was wrong. He told him, if you touch me, what I'm going to do. He could have walked away rather than doing what he did. But see, that's the shoulda, coulda, woulda things, you get me?